anytime FieldLink doesn't initially think it saw enough overlap between your two scan datas, you may notice to get a toast that says your registration failed. So unlike scans 2 and 3, which have that dotted line between them, right now scans 1 and 2 do not have a registration. So kind of the easiest way to fix that, under scan in the top ribbon, and I'll jump right to the register command. I can choose the scans, like choose 2 and 1, for example, and just try to like kind of, tap that register button right next to the second scan. Or, more common, we'll have to quickly pull up the manual side by side. So that's the black and white image found right next to where that scan 2 icon, where now I'll see a photo from station view, scan number 2. I'll see a photo of scan number 1 on the right, and I'll try to pick 2 like images in each of the scans. So by panning around those and trying to do your best to find real finite locations that you can in fact see from both positions, it'll make sure that you can kind of get that registration corrected and you're not missing any of that data. Again, your scan data itself didn't suffer at all because the registration didn't happen correctly, but to make sure it's all stitched together in that one file we've been looking for, we'll make sure we do this manually. So I'll look for this podium that I see here in both of my scans. So I'll just try to tap the rough center the best I can in number 1, rough center in number 2. I see that matching white circle in both scans. I'll drag around my my room here, find another spot. I don't want to find another manual location right on top of that that previous scan location. So now I'm going to look for something on that other wall, kind of right above the, I like that door icon. It's nice and round. I'll do the same thing over here and kind of find this wall divider and make sure I, just kind of center it over there. So once I've done that, I'll tap the register button. It's got 2 locations. It'll progress as it, makes its way through that, kind of registering and aligning those. And if that's successful, if kind of with that manual aid that, that was going to be enough to stitch these 2 back together, I'll get a toast or kind of a dialogue message that that registration was in fact successful. So we're up to 99% here now. Okay, registration successful. 1 and 2 now have a link between them, just like 2 and 3. And at any time, that X found between, the 2 and the 1, I could, break that, change that if I needed to. If it felt like, FieldLink did its best to complete the registration, but I still had, some manual movement I'd like to do, that's why we have the actual access wheel here to, formally move, and rotate that scan data. But, that registration is going to remain until we actually tell FieldLink that we don't need that registration there anymore. So anytime while we're in, the scan screen or even just the overall map screen, I'll actually see a link there between 1 and 2 until we go back to the scan screen and tell it that, that registration needs changed or modified.